You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello, today is Saturday the 19th of October 2024. You're listening to me waffling mainly. So I've had a good couple of days. Again, excuses. Didn't get any writing done whilst I was away. I didn't sleep that well the day before my flight. And in Atlanta, basically went for a walk, went for a couple of miles walk with a colleague, and we did some shopping and bits and pieces. And I came back to the room and just felt a bit rough, so I went back to bed. I did a couple of other bits and pieces. I listened to some music. I compiled my British artists top 40, although I haven't actually, he says, put that on my website yet. I've been quite good. I tend to do it on the Friday or the Saturday, but it'll be tomorrow, Sunday, before I get the chart that I compiled on the 18th of October. I'll quickly talk about that, actually. Might as well. Yeah, I'm still following the top 40 and British music in particular, and there seems to be a big lack of British acts hitting the chart. There are a couple of notable exceptions. So Charlie XCX, who is a British artist, currently on tour with an Australian artist called Troye Sivan. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Really has, she's been around for a long time and has got some really, I read up on her yesterday, I got some really impressive writing credentials, and the people she's written for, can't remember them all off the top of my head, but people like Iggy Azalea and bigger names than that, and I just can't remember who because I'm very, very tired. Yes, but this year, she's been producing albums for a long time, but it's this year her album Brat has really taken, must be the world by storm if she's touring in America. You've heard the phrase Brat Summer, presumably. Well, that's a direct reference to that album. But it's quite interesting because the album came out in, I think it was February, I can't remember exactly, but the album came out, and then a few months later another version of the album was released with 3 extra tracks on it, and then last week a further version came out, and it's remade all of the tracks, so there's not a single track on this new version of the album that's the same. It's the same songs, but they're either collaborations or slightly different interpretations of them, and it's really good. The fact is she's managed to sell 3 versions of the same album this year, but everything she seems to be doing seems to be turning to gold at the moment. So she did a collaboration with Billie Eilish, a song called Guess, which again was originally on the second version of Brat, without Billie Eilish. But the Billie Eilish version, I think it got to number 1. I'm not sure actually, but it's a bit naughty. Not as naughty as WAP, but it's suggestive rather than filthy. But it's quite good fun. So that was her first. I think that was her first number 1 single. I might be wrong. Certainly, Brat is a number 1 album. And I have to say, I bought it on vinyl. I haven't had a chance to listen to it because it arrived the day before I flew to Atlanta. But no, it's been a really amazing year for her this year. And the other artist who it's been a really amazing year for is Chappell Roan. So she released an album last year called The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and it was a reasonable success. I think the songs charted more in America than they did here. But there's it is a really good album. However, I did not discover the album until the first single from her forthcoming second album hit the charts in this country, and it's called Good Luck Babe. If you haven't heard it, just look for Good Luck Babe on Spotify. And read the lyrics as well. It's just excellent. She did a stellar performance on the MTV Music Awards, or whatever they're called, VMAs, Video Music Awards. Anyway, she was the standout of the night. She was really good. The Good Luck Babe VMA is worth looking up on YouTube. But she's strolling around in a suit of armour and a sword. It's excellent. It's really good. Anyway, that new song, because there's not an album to go with it yet, because it's off the forthcoming album, got everybody listening to the previous album, and so 3 songs from the previous album have charted really well. So Hot to Go, Pink Pony Club, and what was the other one called? Oh, Red Wine Supernova, have all done really well in the British charts and indeed around the world, I believe. And earlier this year, only within the last 2 or 3 months, the album actually got to number one in the album charts, nearly a year after it was originally released. And it's a cracking album. It's one of my favourites of the year, actually. I absolutely recommend it. Chapel Roan, it's called The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. But it does rather appear, looking at her social media, that she's actually, I don't think she was expecting her rise to fame to be so sudden and stratospheric. And it feels like she's not struggling to cope, but not enjoying some of the side effects of fame. So the fact she can't walk down the street without people talking to her and knowing who she is. Because I think she had a very, very strong following and a fan base who knew exactly who she was, but in most cases she could walk down the street and nobody would know who she was. And then obviously Good Luck Babe just went mental over the entire planet, and now she can't do things she's used to doing, and it feels like, reading her social media, she's not enjoying that aspect of the fame very much. But anyway, it's really interesting. Yeah, see, I can talk about lots of interesting things, honest to God. So that's 2 artists that I've really have kind of, because Chapel Roan also, she got a first recording contract and deal a long time ago. So they've both her and Charlie XCX have been around for a decent amount of time, but it's 2024 that they've both really gone stratospheric. I am very tired. I did an overnight flight back from Atlanta, and you're lucky to be getting this podcast at all, because I literally just turned the lights out, lying in bed, and thought, I haven't done the podcast. And I would quite like to get back into the habit of doing it daily. If I don't, it won't be daily this month, but November, it is absolutely my intention to do it daily. So yes, that's me today. Visiting godson and family tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some writing done as well. Given that I'm going to bed, it's not even 8 o'clock at night because I'm exhausted, and that I'm seeing them at lunchtime tomorrow, I'll be awake quite early. So hopefully I'll be able to get something done in the morning. We shall see. Anyway, thank you for listening. Take care. Catch you all hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my Linktree at linktr.ee/Richard Wright, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.